promote my homegirl glasses. Then I'm gonna take them off and promote Tanaya lashes that I had.
Facts. How do we play a song though? TikTok.
You don't want to play songs. I'm telling you, they'll get you cut off. Basically.
Really?
So you like?
Oh yeah, because of the copyright.
Yeah, it's definitely they'll take you right off. And you have to keep starting.
So this is the introduction.
That's what people
Right here.
saying. Right here. Yeah, not on yet. You ready?
I mean, you know we ready.
I was born ready, Mr. DeVille.
Make sure these glasses.
Yes, Mommy's Keepin it cute. We are here. Hello, America.
Make sure Bubby's glasses are nice and cute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Baby mama.
How they look?
You look fine.
Okay.
Cutest.
Shout
cute.
out to my homegirl Erica.
Very
Bubby.
nice. Dope shades.
She has the dope shades. Be Luxurious,
We luxurious.
I think her Instagram is.
Shout out. Black business owners. We're here for it.
She's
Mommy's
really
Keepin it cute. Now we're here. Thank you guys for joining in. We here, baby mother.
We happy. Wait, hold on. Let me get now. When I was with the Savage Podcast, I didn't have to do all this.
Right.
You know, I had we had the homie do it, and I still don't have to do it like Norm just said. Let me see. Let me get to my.
But we have some sound effects in the building.
Let me see.
We professional. Yes, good people.
I found it. But anyway, y'all, thank you for tuning in with myself, Chrissy J, and Fatimah.
Yes, aka
The Mommy's
Peachy
Keepin
Poo.
it cute.
Yes.
Look at our shirts.
We're here.
Shout out to Miss Sharon Green for our shirts. They were, made by her. Really dope. We like that.
Very good.
I want to get into this weekend.
Girl. I just want to start, and before I think we jump into this weekend, I think, should we, give the world, who we are, Chrissy Poo?
Let them know who you are.
Okay. All right. So, Mommy's Keepin it cute. And I think we coined that. Me and Chrissy Poo, we're baby mothers. And this is what we call each other. But I think we just here to kind of promote motherhood, right? And, kind of just how that looks on a daily basis. And actually, what we have in common and why this is my baby mother, why I love her so much, and why I felt like I just wanted to take this journey with her particularly, because our daughters actually are sisters. So you guys do the math.
Hey, and happy birthday, Nye.
Happy
Tanaya
birthday.
Turned 16.
God bless.
September 11th. So I'm really happy. And
Yes.
she's 16 now. So shout out to her.
Happy birthday. So we're your new age, blended family, right?
That's what they would say. I think that's
something
what they
like
would say.
that.
The new blended families.
Mm-hmm. FedEx.
I'm with whatever. We it's all for the kids.
All
Which
for
are
the kids.
pretty much grown now, but But shout out to my sister as well, because it was also her birthday on September 11th.
Happy belated.
Virgo season is in the building.
Happy
Which is
belated.
everywhere. Thanks, Norm. Norm
Thank
came
you.
over to give us the thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Looks good. Looks good on screen. Looks good on camera. Thanks, guys.
But yeah, so it was their birthdays. This weekend was pretty dope. I needed this weekend, even though it was not my birthday.
Right.
I felt like it was my birthday because doing a whole week of virtual learning with my 5-year-old kindergartner, it was a bit much.
Right, friend.
How was yours?
This weekend. I think this weekend was pretty dope. I didn't really do much. Saturday night, I really just stayed in the house. I slept. The closer I get to 40, I feel like naps are kind of necessary. So I just kind of hung out at the house, and this morning I just cooked. Girl, I cooked, for the next 2 days. I just cooked, got it out the way. This is a strategy I try to keep in touch on Sundays just to prepare my week, girlfriend. I just was cooking this morning 2 hours, cooked, and I said,
well, that's good. You cooked this morning. I cooked right before I got here. That's why these edges is a little swollen.
You good, girl.
I was hot in the kitchen. But How your kids with the virtual learning?
Well, I have 3 kids. I'm in America. I have a senior. Shout out to Sila, my senior in the building. Senior, and trying to fight through that senioritis and in addition to virtual learning. You know, so shout out to her. You know what, Chrissy Pooh? The virtual learning thing for me, God is just so good because I heard from a friend about a friend that she has basically a program. So my children, they do virtual learning, but they just don't do it from my house.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
The pandemic traumatized me. It's really overwhelming.
Everyone.
It was really overwhelming, girl. So I was just chilling with my friends. Shout out to Danny, the Brandon blogger.
Hey, Danny, our yoga little lady.
Yeah, so me and Danny sitting in the car one day, we just talking about virtual learning. I'm telling her all this stress, this anxiety that I have about doing this all over again. And she was like, well, you know what? By the way, my friend is offering a virtual learning kind of program in her house, which is Alexa. Shout out to Alexa. She also have a podcast, Think Like a Boss, New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
So
all
shout
right.
out to her.
Okay, that's good. Hey, Alexa. Hey, boo.
Honey, because she thought outside the box. You know?
So she does hers in the house.
Right. She's a teacher. Her husband is also a teacher. So they set up virtual learning in their home. Everybody have their own desk, 6 feet social distancing. Everybody's wearing their masks. They clean every day. They take temperatures when I drop my kids off. But I think the dope thing about it, they really thought it out to kind of protect against the COVID because they only allow 5 families in there. You know, so it's like... That's how it is for me, and it's just like I'm just trying to get back to me.
Like homework.
Do I do homework?
No, you do the homework when they get home, or that's done there too.
Pretty much, they like kind of doing homework before I even pick them up.
Oh, praise God. Where's the praise God? Is there?
Listen, the best $270 a week I feel like I spent like in the last year.
Well, I know for myself.
How's that going, friend? Because I really, my heart melts for you.
Because, you know, I go in every single day. Like, this is just a lot. Like, you know, she's
so
full
walk us
day.
through. Like
she's full day kindergarten.
Okay.
So we get up in the morning, wash our face, brush our teeth.
All that good stuff, yeah.
Get dressed, do hair, eat breakfast. Already have the laptop already on for her. Go to Google Classroom, and boom. That's when all the anxiety kicks in.
Right.
You have some kids that are crying. You got some kids that are happy. It's a long day from 8:30 to 3 for a 5-year-old. I don't know if anybody else is going through with the whole kindergarten, and I'm pretty sure everybody is, but everybody deals with it differently. Right. But it's overwhelming. Right, and 8:30 to 3 is a long day.
So, Chrissy, is she like logged in? Because I know my kids, when their school start, they have to log in. And they're, like, on until bell rings at the end of the day. Is that the same for your kindergartner?
Yes.
Oh,
they're
little
on
baby.
From 8:30. And I looked at her schedule. Like, her schedule is she, like, has 8 periods. She has, like, they do spelling, they do math, science, computers, gym. I heard some thumping in the living room. I'm like, what the hell is that? She doing gym, jumping jacks, and all this. And every day they have a scavenger hunt. Yeah. So they going through the house with the scavenger hunts and everything. Right. Parents, it's very important to keep your kid's microphone on mute. When you're doing the virtual learning.
How about that?
Because I've heard some things in the background.
Did you?
Like there was a, you know, like when the battery needs to change for the smoke detector.
Right.
And it's like that chirping. It's chirping,
okay.
Right.
Right.
So the teacher tells a student like, oh, such and such. I'm going to have to email your mommy to let her know that she should change her battery and the fire detector because that's not safe.
That's Miss Buster Brown.
I said, Lord, she's trying to get the people to knock on the
door.
That's
Miss Buster Brown, right? The ones that just care too much, right?
Yeah, I'm like, she's trying to get the people to go ahead and knock on the door.
Right.
But other than that, you know,
it's a struggle.
It's cool. It's
that
pandemic, it hit everyone. It's still hitting everyone. Some people are still working. Those that are working, they're blessed to still be working. Those that are, you know, whether unemployment, hustling, doing whatever you guys do, you know, shout out to y'all. But other than that, I mean, thank God I have the older kids because they're 9th grade, 11th grade, so they on their own. They know to get up and do everything.
That they're supposed to do.
They pretty much cool with that. So
I think the household is just so different now, just the way life is, right? And I feel like, you know, and not to like, I don't want to punch holes in the school systems. I don't.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, just thinking, right? Like the way my brain works, right? Krissy Pooh. I just feel like, all right, this pandemic's going on is new for everybody. The school systems are still like adjusting and trying to kind of get kinks out, right? My thing is, I really felt like, yo, the school system should have had the parents on a module training program, like maybe like 3 days. Like it's almost like we talk about parents that's kind of removed from the technical world.
The school system,
like parents that just don't know,
but
right?
the school knew since March that these kids were not going back to school in September.
And I think
don't care what nobody say.
Well.
They knew it. There's no reason why you're doing kindergarten registration in June, July, and then like 2-3 days before school starts, you're still requesting documents that were already sent. So I understand it's still new and everyone had to prepare for it, but it's like, yeah, but they were doing homeschooling in March.
Exactly.
So
my thing is like you should have. The more the parents know, the more the parents are equipped, the more effective, or I think the kids would have benefited from homeschooling. The parents should have been on a little training. 3-hour training for 3 days before the week before. Even just resources, Chris. Like, these kids are missing so much. The social interaction, right? My daughter, you know, I have, you know, there's kids that's out there, like, that have ADHD. You know, just different barriers and struggles. That require so much more than what one mother could give. And so all you parents... I would say and I try to not make this show like a man bashing show, not whatsoever. But I was talking to my mother earlier, right, Krissy Pooh?
Yep.
It's so overwhelming. Lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Then when you cook, you have to clean up, right? So all you baby fathers that may pay child support or may like contribute to your child's life, like real talk, this is a very overwhelming time. So I would say, do something nice. Send your kids some Uber Eats 2 to 3 times a week. Just make it in a way where it's going to be more convenient for the mother. Because, you know, they say mother's babies, daddy's maybes. And it's just like, yo, we out here. Yeah. I just wanted to discuss that for real.
I think with the school, the good thing about the schools, I know in my district they do it, they're still giving out like lunch, breakfast, and the afternoon snacks. I just don't go to the school to get it, but I know that they're still giving that out or whatever, but still it's a lot. You know what I mean? It is a lot, and it is a lot for the teachers as well, because, you know, I feel for the teachers because they're not fully equipped at home doing this. They can't get some of the programs up, or they might have to skip a couple things, and it's just a lot. And I'm just like, you know, by the end of the day, I gave up, you know, too much drinking wine and stuff, but I'm ready to start back because I need my wine.
That's self-care, right?
Yeah, that's self-care.
That's self-care.
That's important. What they call it, self-care.
And you know what's so funny? Yes, self-care, all of that. I say self-care is the reason why kids don't get cursed out. Yeah. Self-care is the reason why parents don't have divorce cases because of self-care. Self-care is a necessity.
Yeah, and shout out to those fathers that are going through this
the same
with
thing.
The moms as well. Shout out to them, because the only way that this is going to work with everyone is through prayer and patience. Period.
I think prayer, patience, and teamwork. Like, if there wasn't never like teamwork needed to raise a kid, like if the mother and father wasn't together, this is the time. Like, this is a time. Like, if you could have been doing better or could have been doing more, this is the time too. Because guess what? Your children's education is happening at home. From a laptop, from an iPad.
It is.
It's happening from home. Those fundamentals, girl, how they read, how they write, how they structure sentences. This is happening from the home. So I just feel like, this is a team. This is a teamwork. And shout out to the single fathers too. Shout out to the single fathers that's virtual learning and teaching their children at home too. And shout out to my boy Jamil, and that's the dude I was telling you about. I went to high school with that shared his kids with the ex-wife, and like he's a real like dad. Like he really like he 1 week on, 1 week off. Have the little girls have their own little cute little pink little rooms, their little bunk beds. Like damn, so that week on, it's like I know he worked full time because he was just talking about it a few weeks ago. So shout out to the parents, period, man.
That's going through this.
Force the parents. All of that, too.
It's a lot. It is a lot. Shout out to the virtual learning. We just going to have to get through it. But let's talk about our badass boot camp that we just had.
Ooh.
Let me see, because I'm playing with this stuff.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Let's get this switch aside.
Shout out. We did that, for everyone who came out and showed support to us.
Yes,
it was amazing.
To the people what happened.
So we had this boot camp. It was in Johnson Park. We did yoga. It was the training for the boot camp. We had 9 stations. We were doing mountain climbers. What a burpees.
It was a heavy ass jump. It was like a 20-pound jump rope, Mac.
Yeah,
shout out to Mac.
Mac, he did his thing.
I don't know your last name on my book, but Mac, shout out. He's a dope trainer.
It was dope. We were out there. What else was it? It was like the burpees and mountain climbing, but we all just went in the whole 9 stations and we just worked through it. Also, we had
each other having fun while we was
women
doing
empowerment,
it.
Ladies getting together, showing hella love.
Yo,
especially to the ones that didn't even know each other, so that was dope too. We had yoga.
That was really dope. Danny, shout out to the Brandon blogger.
She definitely did the damn thing with that. That was my first time ever doing a yoga.
It was very dope. And then I like with the yoga how she did it. Like since it was kind of a woman's empowerment event, Danny kind of focused on goddess and power and just being a goddess warrior type of thing. So she was really talking in yoga these kind of self-affirmations that she was saying while we were doing different poses. So I just thought that was dope. And you could just feel the energy. Women,
especially when you had your eyes closed.
Yes.
We were, what did she have? She had some kind of incense and
the incense,
the birds
and
were chirping, the leaves were blowing.
And we was by the water.
We were by the water. It was just amazing. And then at the end, we had about 100 mimosas.
100 mimosas.
We finished them bottles.
Baby mama
with the orange juice.
We had to finish the mimosas.
Yeah, we did. Because who else was going to drink them? We couldn't drink and drive, so might as well finish them at the boot camp.
And we finished talking in the sun, right? I got so dark that day.
Listen, we was talking, crying, laughing, crying,
talking
again. I said, you know what? I'm getting black as hell. It was time for us.
It was time to go.
We was talking about everything. We had church out there. Just her and I. After everyone left, we went to town, and that's
and I think that moment right there for me, for us, just for this whole Mommyz Keepin it cute and just being a woman and just kind of sharing our growth and our jewels. I think it happened. I already felt you and our vibes, naturally, based on our stories, based on our children, right? But I think that moment after the mimosas and we were sitting in the sun talking, I think that's where it hit, it clicked. I was like, damn, we the same person, just in a different shell. Right?
Yeah, basically.
Facts.
Because we was talking about everything, so that was
that was very
the hit part of it.
The hit maker.
But nothing was funnier than when I looked over on my shoulder. I'm like, saw how black I got when I moved the strap. It was like I was a whole different person because I had gotten so tan. But that was much needed. So next time we have our badass boot camp, we know how to. What is the word I'm looking for? Not set it up right, but we know how to organize it.
Oh, absolutely.
Organize it ahead of time.
Like, I think facts, because I think we had a trial run, right?
Yeah, it was a trial run.
So we got all our kinks out, and we kind of know how.
And we only got that together within like 3 weeks.
I feel like it was a dope event though for our first event.
It was.
Like our second event, like I feel like I think like we were talking, the ladies in the feedback, the girls that attended, they appreciated the yoga aspect of it.
Yeah.
So I think, our next badass boot camp is gonna be like really focusing on yoga. Like
yoga is so cute because we all have kids, and
girl,
my homegirl was acting like one of the little positions she could. I said, "Girl, you got 6 kids.
You got
She said, "Arch up that back. Come on now." She said, "Let's get to it." And that's Tay. Tay, I'm talking about you.
Yes. Tay, for all the sexy moms out there.
Right. And that's the whole thing about the whole mommy's keeping it cute. Just because you're a mother, you don't have to be a granny.
Yes.
You could, keep it cute on the budget.
Keep it cute.
Just always keep it cute. Never lose yourself.
Facts.
Never give your all to something or someone that you start looking like, ugh. Always be dope. Always know that you're dope.
Yes.
And that's it. And you the flyest.
That's
Period.
it. No matter what. Like, and I think too, Chris, like, I see people, like, I just analyze people. I just may not see much because my mother told me if I don't got nothing nice to say, I shouldn't even be saying it, right? But I see it'll be girls that I work with or just girls in life, one baby, and not saying, like, it's like, I'm not talking about just the physical aspect of how a woman looks, right? I'm talking about, yes, you're a mom, and yes, you're supposed to love your kids, but you got to kind of learn how to balance your baskets, right? You can't put all your eggs in every basket because you'll forget about yourself. It's like no reason why. I just feel like a person should just be like, give up on life. I don't give a fuck how the relationship even turned out, right? After the baby happened, and the outcome of that relationship should not influence how you carry yourself, how you feel about yourself, how you take care of yourself, friend. Right. Sorry, ma'am.
Right. But when people lose themselves on the outside, as far as their looks go, because that's just a shell, they've already mentally
lost themselves a long
been
time ago.
Exhausted and drained. They're not emotionally healthy. You know what I mean? So the outside is just the outside.
Good
you know
word.
what? I know because I was just thinking too, emotionally
Good
healthy.
word. Yes, let's break that down though, because the social worker in me
emotionally,
about it.
Emotionally healthy.
What does that mean for you, friend?
To me, I feel emotionally healthy is like whatever you're going through, like you have like positive energy in it. Like you are not toxic. Right. Everybody says, oh, everyone use this big word, toxic.
What the fuck is toxic?
You know what I mean?
Right?
So it's just like
get this, say toxic. Yeah, what is it?
When you're emotionally healthy, it's just like everyone's emotional.
Yes.
But you're not draining. You're not a, what is it, narcissist. You're not a, just playing games. You are right.
And I think facts. And I think when a person is all right? And I think emotionally healthy is when a person is like okay with themselves. Like they fill themselves up with so much love. They don't got room for the other stuff that filled them, right? And that could be sex. That could be drugs. That could be making money. Like whatever it is, it's like that fills that void. But I think when you are emotionally healthy, that's like, okay, I could fill that void. That's
when you're
self-care.
Emotionally healthy, you are really happy.
You're shit.
You're not pretending. You're happy. The girl said that last night.
Una kabuna.
They said the
I learned it from my daughter.
Tell me what the una kabuna is.
Una kabuna. And shout out to Selah, because these kids keep an old lady like me relevant, okay? So, una kabuna. Una kabuna.
Let me see what this Jadakiss is.
He's a jackass.
Oh, go ahead.
He's a jackass.
Oh, that's Obama.
Oh, God. I thought it said Jadakiss. It said jackass. My bad.
Okay.
Told you I'll talk about this virtual learning.
Right. But the una kabuna is like a spirit animal. It's like a spirit.
You were serious about that.
Help.
I have no idea what that was. I'm telling you, I said when I was on, shout out to the Savage podcast. When I did the podcast, I ain't do none of that. So I just hit something and
hit it again. No, that was funny though. Hit it again.
You were serious about that?
Oh, it must. I must have hit it like twice or whatever.
That bitch you remixed
yeah,
that
I'm
shit.
like, yeah, I don't know what it was. But anyway, the Una Kabuna.
The Una Kabuna. Hello, everybody that's live on my IG. But Una Kabuna, that spirit animal, right? That Una, like that Una, because Una is in Spanish is like one. Like Uno is one. It's like self, being happy with myself. Nobody gotta feel or make me feel like I'm the shit just cause I know it. It's that inner tiger, like, and I tell people, like, just kind of segue, like I'm a social worker, kind of in the therapy field. When I tell my people that I've worked with in the past, it's like no one talks to us more than we talk to ourselves, right?
Girl.
So whatever the conversation we having with ourselves, that shit better be a good one. Yeah. So Una is one of them things like,
like you popping.
That's it. That's all. So that's the Una Kabuna.
They definitely said it yesterday.
The girls.
And when the girls said it, I'm like, I said Peachy Poo just said that on her Instagram story. I'm like, she said the Una Kabuna.
Una Kabuna. Una.
Yes. I was just like, whatever that was, but I said I'm gonna use that, but
whatever that was. But you know what's so funny? The girls, my daughter and your daughter, they're sisters. They get a lot of their terminology from gay men. I love the children. Shout out to the children. Right? So I love the children. So a lot of these words and a lot of these adjectives and just how they speak, it's like gay men terminology. But it just makes so much sense to me.
Because, when they say it and how they say it, I also see some things on Instagram, too, and gay men, they do say it, too. Yeah. But, they just like us.
Yeah, they just like us. I love gay men. Yes, I do.
They are just so cute. I went last Sunday to... I'm about to switch it up real quick. I went last Sunday to Outside Church, right?
How was that, friend?
It was so dope.
Was it?
I went last Sunday, then the Sunday before that, and the first week in August. Or the second week
in what
August,
church
I did.
are you attending?
The one I went to the first time was Holy Temple on Toms River. The last two times was the Cathedral in Amboy, but they have 3 locations. So we went to Asbury, then we went to Plainfield, whatever. And I'm just sitting there like, it felt so dope just to like be outside and like worshiping and getting off of the Facebook Live. Like you go to church on the live and stuff. It was just so dope to be outside and everything. And I'm just like, we need to, I don't know, respect these rules with these masks and 6 feet and keep the spots that we go to at capacity so we can, I'm not going to say get back to normal because I don't want to get back to normal. I want to get back to being safe, but not normal because this pandemic for myself, I needed it because it showed me that I was very comfortable in how I was moving back then. So from March until now, like I see a whole bunch of growth. I see a whole bunch of change. So it's like I needed that pandemic to like really sit me down and really think about certain things.
Facts.
I mean, it sat me down and it, had me drop like 30 pounds.
Okay.
And I get the thing. Shout out to my little Tava products. Yes. We got the Tava, the Flare, Val 30. So anybody looking for weight loss or just trying to be healthy, hit me up because
facts.
When you're home and you sitting still and you really don't know like what's going on, like you gotta start hustling. You have to figure stuff out. That's what we do as mothers. We figure it out. Just because we run into a little, you'll get a little monkey wrench on it or whatever. Like,
monkey wrench.
Yeah,
little monkey wrench thrown in. We can still figure it out. Yeah, we problem solvers, because we are mothers. And now is the
time. Like,
absolutely.
If you want to start your business, whatever you want to do, like now is the time to do it.
Speak on it.
Because you can't really do anything.
Facts. And I think addition to that, for me, like, when the pandemic happened, Chris, yo, like, this allowed me to sit the fuck down.
Yeah.
Can I get an applause for that?
Yo.
Like, Chrissy Pooh. Yo, it allows me to sit down. And I don't compare myself to other mothers because I know it's a hustle out here to take care of kids. But, like, Chris, I feel like I
get hustled by my kids.
I've been hustling my whole life. Like, I feel like I just been hustling. 2 jobs, like, since I was 17. Like, bitch, I worked all the time. I work sometimes. I feel like I'm just so used to having a second job. Sometimes I feel like I do it and I don't really have to do it. But just that hustling. And this is like the pandemic was like similar to jail. Or what jail does to people, allow me to sit down and be still.
The pandemic was like jail?
Where it made me sit still.
Oh, okay.
Like, jail made me sit still. The pandemic made me sit still. I couldn't run. Yeah. No strip clubs. I'm out here. I'm in Harlem. I'm in East New York. Like, where we at? Like, I'm always, like, just out. It made me sit down. Sit down and not necessarily have to wake up. Just waking up in the morning, 5 o'clock, 5:30. Sometimes I don't hear your alarm and that anxiety. Yeah. Like, yo, you got to get hella kids ready to get out the house and drop their ass off at before school kid. And then go to work. That shit was like, whoa, I think heavy. So I feel like the pandemic, like you said, I try to look at it, just positive aspects of it and what it allowed me to do. Really take care of myself.
That's what it is.
It really allowed me to sit down and take care of myself, eat better. Because now I'm home. Rest of my house was closed. So I had to really, I was home. I was making restaurant type shit at my house.
And you still do.
Facts. Crazy. You see them shrimp I made today? Them scampi?
Yes.
Scampi. That's
yes.
Shout out to Yvonne.
What's going on with all that? All the recipes. I'm like, what is she making now? Like, it just looks so.
Shout out to Yvonne. Because that little scampi. That scampi I made today, Chris, you know what the onion does, right?
Yes. Have to. I feel like you have to cook with onions.
You have to.
You have to cook with onions. And you have to cook with garlic. You
just
have to.
Fresh stuff too. Like, I feel like that's what makes food taste so good to me. It's like parsley, thyme, oregano, garlic, a red onion. Like, them things right there. If you just like saute that shit with a little bit of butter and oil, like, that be the season. All the seasons you really, really fucking need besides salt. Like, it just tastes so much better. Like, it would taste good. So, back to the scampies. Like I told you, my Sundays, my tips is like, yo, like, it just works so better for me, Chris.
I would like to talk to you.
I hit that by accident.
About some of the things
I hit by accident. That's Bill Cosby.
that you do in your job.
That's Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby. How old is Bill Cosby?
And he's still in jail. Yeah. Shout out to Bill Cosby. You know,
hold on. Why we shout him out?
I'm shouting him out because Chris,
I like Bill Cosby.
And we could get political.
I like Bill Cosby.
We could get sexual.
And I know people still listening to R. Kelly.
In fact,
and that's
Bill
fine.
Bill fucking Cosby. At the end of the day, whatever was happening with the preludes and the drugs back in the day, and I could honestly say, and I really don't care what people. I won't say he's an innocent bystander. I just feel like that old man should not be in jail. Shout out to fucking Cosby.
Yeah,
shout out to him. And people don't know that, like, real talk, like, before he got locked up, like, there was, like, a major network deal. Like, Bill Cosby was about to go half on fucking, I want to say, NBC. Yeah. People don't talk about that. Yeah. They don't talk about how it's like, oh, okay, in order to be talking about NBC money, like, you got to have a bag. The bag.
Well, we know Bill Cosby got the bag. But around, I feel like he's like 97.
I feel like somebody, stupid.
He
an old man, but I just feel like somebody threw a monkey wrench in his game.
They all did.
And I feel like he said, wait a minute, why are we shouting out Bill Cosby? You know, I feel like it's just a double standard. I feel like, whatever. I feel like he don't supposed to be there. I'm not saying it like that.
No, he's not. I wonder how
after all this time, though. Listen. He is in jail based on people's statements. He's not in jail because this was on camera. He's not in jail because they had a fucking recording back in the 70s, a fucking a tape recorder under the pillow. He's in jail because people came out like 30, 40 years later and said, well, this happened.
Yeah, true. He's also in jail because he's black.
And he's black.
Yeah,
and girls was like, oh, he did this. And but he did this the one time, but you went back for more. So I don't know. I just don't know. I just feel like he shouldn't be in jail.
Is R. Kelly still... Wait,
he's still in jail.
Did he get beat up real bad or something?
I heard he got raped, though. But I tried to find it, but I couldn't find it. Somebody said he got sexually assaulted in prison. So if anybody knows, like, DM us or send us an email, because I tried to find the story, but I couldn't. But, you know, I don't know. Fake news. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, it might be fake news, but I know that
I know
he made
R.
some
Kelly
amazing music, y'all.
He made some amazing music.
I don't know what's
and
going.
some
I don't know
mistakes.
what was going. Yeah, I don't know what was going on. I don't know why. You know, I wasn't there. I don't know if it's true or not. Maybe it's true. You know, whatever. But you know, the parents allowed it. But whatever. But he definitely made some amazing music.
He made some amazing music, and I think he made some amazing mistakes too. I think he was just so emotionally stunted. He couldn't really read. He couldn't write. He had an abusive background. And not to kind of paint him a picture, because that's like the work I do. So it's like, you know, he had all the precursors for a sex offender. He, you know, you have some grown men that have all that money and access. He had the bag. He could have put his dick in anybody. He could have fucked anybody. Anybody. Beautiful,
I thought this was Mommyz Keepin It Cute.
Yeah.
So what about the people that's listening? We saying all the D words and stuff like that.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep it cute. I apologize. But I'm just saying. But he could have put his D in anybody though, Chris.
Whew.
And I'm going to keep it cute.
I mean,
just have, like, you have access to all of these different exotic women. You could have, you know, just had relationships and flew anybody across the country. But you decided to, not decided, but you was aroused to young girls. Like, that just let me know, like, you are, like you said, like, emotionally not healthy. Like, you're emotionally stunted because you really wouldn't know what to do with a woman your age, you know? And that's back to, like, just the mommy aspect of it. And, like, just kind of being aware of that, too, and, like, talking about that. Because a lot of people don't like to talk about stuff like that because it's so taboo. But I think I do. And as a mother...
It's reality. Things like that happen.
It's needed to be talked about.
What he's going through, people go through. People have gone through.
And let's be frank, like, in the hood, like, it happens all the time. Like, how many... any urban area on this side of the country, that was the culture. Dope boys was always over 21. And there were young girls in the hood that didn't have it, or their mother was getting high, so they had to get it how they lived it. So that was kind of always a culture, you know, but that doesn't excuse the behavior. No, because you are grown. And
when I heard, I was really
children under 18 upset. Can't consent.
Yeah.
They're not all here.
I really was, you know, upset because you like him. You like Robert. Robert made the music.
Robert, yeah.
You know, even with the whole Leah thing, Robert, you know, made the.
And then it's so crazy because it's like I guess because his music was so planted in our culture, right? Space Jam. In the Closet, you know, from our Aaliyah songs, like a lot of that stuff. So it's like, I just can't believe it. But then be like, yo, like he really did like marry Aaliyah. Like that was really like public record.
He did. I remember
you know
that.
What I mean? Like,
I remember that part. So
it was like really like, all right.
But hearing the stories, I guess, was just a little different. But
hopefully
he'll get his stuff together. Did you watch Power today?
No, I didn't.
It came on today, right?
I did not watch it. Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it today, but I watched it last week.
No spoiler alerts. What was it on last week too? I'm
out for a little.
I've been watching P-Valley. I'm sorry.
I gotta get on P-Valley. I haven't watched P-Valley.
You talking about Mommyz Keepin It Cute? Really can't talk about P-Valley on here then, because P-Valley, you get it how you live it. But as a mother, and let's tie it back to Mommyz Keepin It Cute. There's a character on the show that is an abusive relationship that her baby is like a baby, like, you know, the girls in the house mother passed the baby along because the girl on stage dancing. So it's like a family. Like, people are really like watching this kid, making sure it's safe behind stage because Mississippi is on the stage. Trying to take care of that baby.
I never
deep.
watched it.
It's really good. It's really good.
Shout out to everybody who's on the live check-in. I have to watch it. I never watched it, but
it's really good.
I was watching Power. The Have and Have Nots came back, but that Marriage Boot Camp. Did you watch that? Why Vado
watches
choked Tahiri, whatever. Who? Vado choked Tahiri. Did you see that?
No.
On Marriage Boot Camp.
Vado is with Tahiri?
Girl.
Huh.
I didn't even know, but I seen him.
He choked her on the show?
On the show.
Oh, they ain't leave that one out.
That show was raw.
Did he yoke her up like?
No, she had threw apples at his face like in the prior episode. So it was stuff that was going on. She got a little physical. She threw some apples. That's why I like to tell my kids, because I have 2 sons. You know, not the baby, but I have a son and then I have daughters. Guys, teach your children, teach your daughters to keep their hands to themselves.
Facts.
You know, they have to keep their hands to themselves.
Facts.
You know, also teach your sons, keep their hands to everybody
Absolutely.
should keep their hands to themselves, because it just seems like women just think it's okay to be beating on guys.
It's no
and
boundaries.
then, domestic violence with the dudes, and it's just like guys are just supposed to sit there.
And in addition to that, I just feel
and
like...
I don't care what people say, you a boy, you a man, you're not supposed to do... No, there's only going to be so many slaps before you throw to get slapped too. I'm sorry. I had to say
No, it's true. But I feel like those are things that we should have learned in kindergarten. At this point, if you have to be in a relationship with somebody where it's like you have to express yourself physically and you can't really just express yourself verbally, like, then you probably shouldn't be in that relationship.
And your kids shouldn't be
that.
saying that.
And you know what I'm doing now? Shout out to Kareem. Like, my strategy now, like, sometimes when I feel like I'm not in a good place to even verbalize at the moment because I'm just so heated, and I work on it every day, girl. I try not to yell. So I say I have a little trick. Like, I try to, when I'm heated, I just don't talk to him on the phone. I'll text him.
Oh, okay.
I'll text, because it's like when you yell, when you beef, it's like the message get lost so tremendous. It's like the message disappears because you can't no longer hear the message. You just hearing attack mode, like da 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 da. So I'm just texting, but facts. He should have.
You gotta teach your kids.
Up on TV though.
Yeah, you gotta teach your kids, because, I mean, I'm just a burn. I remember a incident when my son was younger. He was on the bus and some girl just, I guess kept bothering him every day, whatever, pushing him. But I think my son was probably like in 4th grade, probably.
And it's probably funny, and she probably liked him. That's the
she
funny
probably
part.
Did, but
love tag.
It wasn't funny to me. Like, I know to them it was probably like funny, but it wasn't funny to him.
Right.
So once he started telling me the story about, like, this is going on like every day, Ma. This is what's happening. And then today I had Cheez-Its on a bus. I didn't want to share it with her, and she hit me in my face and my glasses fell. Woo!
Ooh.
I had to go to the house and knock on the door because I had to talk to the parents and let the parents know. Tell your daughter to keep her hands to herself, because if she'd have hit someone else's son,
right,
she'd probably got knocked the hell out.
Yeah.
If somebody else's son is probably being raised, like, don't matter. If somebody hit him right back. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Versus
like
a
my
kid
son,
that
like, has
thinking
matters,
about it.
or some good home training. But I feel like that comes back into the home. Like, even my girls, like, my 2 youngest daughters, they fight, not physically fight, but siblings fight
all the time. Well, I'm happy that Tanai and Kiara at the age they don't physically fight anymore, but that verbal, sometimes I peek down a little bit, like, ooh, like, what's going on? But they get back right, because in my household, when I was raised by my parents, if my sister and I got into a fight, my mom used to make us hug each other, and we hated to hug each other, especially when we wanted to fight. So we knew, we used to fight quietly. Let me go over to this live. So
what's going on?
Ayana says, I tell the girls all the time, if you hit a man, mentally prepare yourself to get hit back or choked up. Men are naturally stronger, and we can't control their reaction after what happened.
True.
That is true.
That is true.
They are stronger.
They are stronger. And again, being emotionally healthy. Like, it shouldn't get to the point that I'm that mad, I got to express myself with my hands. Those are things kids learn really in kindergarten.
That's why people...
Like, those are, like, basic elementary school skills. You know what I mean? Like...
But some people go through it. Some people, they go through all that, and they want to get all domestic violence, and then... get beat up, and then somebody get beat up, and then they want to go get all the family. Then the other person go get the family,
and then you talk about being toxic,
it's a whole
right?
bunch of stuff, and then it just doesn't make sense. It's kind of stupid. What is this, boo?
And the fact is, I feel like some relationships are based on that toxic stuff, like fighting. Like, some people learn since they was kids, like they just like to fight, or they aroused to like arguing or wanting to fight, but that's like not cool. And I think, like, I don't know. I think more so, and I speak for myself. I try to just work on being a little bit more healthier and not wanting to fight. I tell people, I joke about it now, but I be like, I argue for wreck. Like,
I remember you told me, like, I argue for fun. I'm like, oh my God.
Recreation. Like, how you be, like, them boys be playing Madden and stuff when I'm bored. Like, I, be wanting to, But I had to really, like, check that, because that's not cute. It's not how ladies conduct themselves or just, So just trying to, like, work on that aspect of myself.
That's
like,
right. And when your kid comes home saying, a little boy or a little girl hit them, we, as mothers and stuff, we still have to keep it, like, try to keep it calm and cool.
So, like, what was your conversation with him? Like, when he did come home, what was that dialogue with Cameron? Like, as
Cameron's
far as
a Cancer. He's always been calm.
Really?
He has always been calm. He doesn't get, like, you have to really make him mad to get, like, a reaction. He's just always calm. So when he was telling me, I was just like, wait, what? What? Like, I just was just trying to see it, like, wait, hold on, you got smacked in your glasses full. I was just like, well, I wanted to fight that little girl. And that's why I said I needed this.
Shout out to that.
There are parents out there that do fight kids.
Fight little kids, too. Like, there's some parents out there that fight ninth graders, too. Like, because I was one of those parents. I came a long way. I came a very long way. Oh, that's so funny.
So like, the conversation with the parents, they understood, like, where I was coming from.
Absolutely. And, hopefully they would have.
And they also spoke with the daughter and brought the daughter to the door, and the daughter didn't lie. So that was, I think, to me, that made me feel like, okay, well, she telling the truth. Because a lot of kids now, they lie. They're like, I didn't do that. No, you really did it. And then the parents would be like, well, she said she ain't do it. No.
She owned up to it. She was accountable for her actions and everything. So that was
You got a warning, because he definitely has two sisters, and they will jump you.
Right. Facts. And then I feel like, too, like, and I think that's so important, like, when kids do get into conflicts, especially with kids outside the home now, like, not just the siblings. I'm talking about kids in school. Like, that's kind of like that tricky aspect, like, because, like, you really be wanting to fight somebody's kid because you want to, like, blunt all your children's feelings. Like, for me, my daughter, Tahari, right, she 8 years old, right? I remember her first friend she had, like, in kindergarten. They was, like, friends, like, the first 3 months, and then one day she came home with her eyes full of tears. Like, what's wrong? Well, such and such don't want to be my friend no more because she found a new friend, and she don't want to sit by me at lunch no more. I said, well, where's she at?
Why she want to be a friend?
They 5, 6 years old. I'm like, which one is she?
Yeah, like, it's like that.
Like, it's that natural, that mama bear instinct. Like, that mama bear, like, you want to not just protect their safety, but you want to protect their heart too. You know what I mean? And that was just one of those topics. Like, hey, baby, y'all ain't gonna be friends forever. And it's just like,
and that was when she was like 5 and 6.
She was 5 and 6. Like, I wanted to be like,
Now when they get Tanai and Kiara age, it's just like anyone get into a, you know, altercation with either one of them, it's like they come as a team. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you fight one, you gotta fight both. But we're not promoting fighting.
Promoting that at all. No,
teach your kids to keep their hands to themselves, so then they don't have to fight. Because if they come across my kids fight.
They fight. They fight. It's so funny, but it's such a tricky line though, Chris. Like I feel like assertiveness versus aggressiveness. That's like a tricky line to teach kids. Yeah, like, how do you assert yourself? Like, you know, like you call your throne, right? Like you assert yourself in a matter, but not necessarily be aggressive. And that's a lot. Like, even just with the police that's going on right now, even just minority children in a predominantly white school system. Like, how, like, it's really, really deep. Like, those are skills I felt like conversations I had with my girls all the time. Even with Selah, she's tall, very dark skinned, chocolate baby. I really feel like it was teachers throughout her high school career that just was like maybe racist or maybe just ain't say it out loud or just misinterpret her body language, misinterpret the things she said and how she said things, you know, and trying to teach her, like, hey, everybody's not going to understand how you saying things or what you saying. So just kind of being mindful, like, it's really real. And not be that, that black B word, that word, you know, just because you want to assert yourself and stand up for yourself. Right.
And it is all about delivery, too, but you got to get your point across.
FitX.
What is it? Say what you mean and mean what you say?
Say that. And if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
I'm over here looking at these. We can ready to wrap it up, y'all.
What do you like to do?
Whatever you like.
Ooh. You know what?
What kind of music do you like?
Oh, that's Eddie Murphy. Coming to America. I'm just over here looking at all this stuff.
That's when she was hopping like this.
Yeah, and he's like, wait, they hop on one leg or whatever he said, sound like that.
Funny.
On one leg. But again, guys, you know what? We are going to be here each and every Sunday from 7 to 8. Today was the first show. I think today was pretty dope.
It was dope.
I'm going to make sure I get these little sound effects down packed. So next week, you know, we have the sound effects rocking. We can't really do the music because of the copyrights and all that, and it is like delete the live or whatever. Because I know when I used to be on my old podcast,
you like?
but we're not able to do
Y'all
that.
ain't never got two things that match.
Whatever kind of
Hey,
music.
Norm.
Y'all got
Norm just
Kool-Aid,
walked
no
back.
sugar,
I'm happy to see
peanut
Norm.
butter, no jelly,
Let's
ham,
give
no
him.
burger.
I'm happy to see Norm. Woo! Norm is Oh, you were? Norm is dope.
Yeah, so we can work on our sounds for next week, and we here every Sunday, 7 o'clock.
7
We're
to 8.
here,
We're
7
here.
to 8.
Just, you know, Mommy's keeping it cute and talking about real stuff. I know today we really was talking about our own personal stuff. You know, maybe next week we get into like, you're live?
Yeah.
Live thing?
Oh, we done.
That's yours. We were really keeping it about us this week today, which is dope because this is like our little introduction, you know.
Absolutely. So. Kind of filling out the equipment and everything.
Norm, is the number still the same?
I swear, I said I had something up here in my frontal lobe, and I forgot. Yeah.
You
the phone number. I was just thinking about something, but I forgot.
Yep, it's when you guys want to check that. Oh. Norm, I wasn't even looking. I knew it was still the same.
Oh, the number up there, 646-233-1302. And next week, you guys will be more than welcome to call up, get some feedback, ask some questions.
Next
just
week,
add
I'm
to the
gonna make
conversation.
sure I log on to my live from my phone so I can read the comments. I just did it, and I see there's like a whole bunch of comments. There was someone saying that there was like a delay in the show or whatever, but I guess.
So you can read the comment. It's right here. Show's over, but they're right there. All the comments.
Oh, well, that's why I said next week. Norm, I haven't been here. Let me see. When I did the podcast,
Technology's so much
I know the whole studio is different. Rit, you got to come up here and see this, man. This is different. It wasn't like this with the Savage podcast. Norm, you know, Norm done did it up. We got the lights, we got the backdrop, we got the whole like
and all the
computer,
sound
the
effects.
sound effects. I mean, everything is just it's real dope. So,
yep.
I don't know. Maybe one day we'll bring Rit up here and he could be,
the
speaker
DJ,
from the
not the DJ, but
the speaker. Oh, Norm could be the DJ.
We got little guest.
But other than that, guys, tune in each and every Sunday from 7 to 8 p.m. Mommyz Keepin the Cute podcast.
We're
with
here.
Fatimah and Kristyn J.
We're here for it. See ya. Have a blessed week.